Bruce, we'll have to keep our eyes open for trolls. I'm pretty sure that was the same person trolling from 3 different accounts as soon as we blocked them. And I found their accounts and blocked them. So I'm not even sure what that means if I block at their page. When I load in someone's page, you can go to their, so if you go to someone's YouTube page, if you want to, you just pick on anybody. I can pick Rick Beato. And if let's see, where is he? Where's Rick? Rick, where are you, Rick? So if I go to Rick's page, wow, he's almost got 2 million subscribers. That is crazy. It just exploded. You go, if you see the tabs, home, videos, playlist, community, channels, about, go to about, and there's a little flag there, and you can block user or report channel, add report channel, but whatever. But I think if you block the user, then they can't see they may be able to see your videos still, but they won't be able to comment. They may not even be able to give you a thumbs up or thumbs down. Yeah, John, I would say for the minor blues, what you typically do is you flat the 5. For the major blues, you flat the 3. So you take a major pentatonic, and if you add the flat 3, I don't know that I would call that a major blues scale, but it's the same. It's the exact same scale. So if I'm playing over A, sorry, we're going to get off subject here, John, but if I'm playing over A and I play A minor pentatonic, and I add the blues note, the flat 5, okay, you can do that exact same scale over a C major chord. Okay, so it's the same scale, but now it's the C major pentatonic. Here's A minor pentatonic. Here's C major pentatonic. And the same blues note, which is over the A minor would be the flat 5, and over the C major would be the flat 3. It's the same note. So yeah, technically, I guess that would be a major blues. To quickly answer your question, Hero, good to see you. Good morning solo. Yeah, the first notes I played this morning. Let's see. Jim is here. Darren. We got to keep our eyes open for trolls. Bob's a troll. Pretty sure Darren's a troll. Block them all, Bruce. Dennis, were you here yesterday, or on Monday when we had the troll attack? Let's see. AJ, good to see you, AJ. David Sillers. All right. I'm going to just kind of continue on the previous lesson we did. And I deleted those. I didn't delete them, but I replaced the previous screenshots with these. The upper left-hand image, that's I took away the fret marker on that one just because I wanted you to be able to see the shape. There's the C shape, okay, for the pentatonic, and you can see how this scale is built around that. And the roots of that, just like they are with the C chord, the roots on the 2nd string and on the 5th string. So if you align those 2 notes, either one, if you line one, the other one's going to be the same. If you align them with whatever key you want to play in, if you want to play in the key of E flat, for example, then here's the chord shape, here's the C shape at E flat, and then that scale just wraps around it, which is the beauty of the caged method. Okay, so you know that's the reason we learned the caged methods, because the caged method is a simple way of mapping out the fretboard, and then you add information to each one of those little mini maps. Okay, and we learned the pentatonic shapes around the C shape, and now we're learning basically the diatonic shapes. And then the other diagram that I wrote there is, I remember we talked about if you play from B to B here on this, you get a Phrygian scale. If you play from C to C, you get a Lydian scale. Okay. If we play D to D, you get D mixolydian. If you play E to E, you get E minor. It's one of my favorite E minor shapes to play, or minor scales to play. If I went F sharp to F sharp, I get F sharp Locrian. And then G to G. So again, that's the whole modes, relative modes point that I make in our modes lessons, which are, I think the second set of lessons we did right after Caged. Was it modes? I had no idea how long the lockdown was going to be. We're still locked down in California. Almost every business around my neighborhood have pretty much gone. They're not coming back. So it's pretty sad. So we started on the modes. And I thought, oh, I'll do the modes lesson, then we'll get back to work, and nobody will be watching. Like, dang it. So we've got the modes. Basically, the relative modes. What that means is they use the same notes. They have the exact. Actually, literally, they're brothers and sisters. They have the same DNA. So the B Phrygian, as you can see in the upper right there, are the same notes as C Lydian. Okay. The only difference is that we're starting and ending on a different note and using the same notes. So that essentially is relative modes in a nutshell. Okay. And do I think modally when I'm soloing? No, I'm probably more likely going to think overall major tonal center or minor tonal center. So in other words, if I'm playing over this progression, I might think G major, but I'm not going to be thinking B Phrygian. You know, I'm not going to be going, oh, okay, I got to play a B Phrygian scale. But I do like the sound of a B Phrygian scale because really what it is it's a G major scale starting on the third. And the third's a very good note. So it's a good note to play anyway, the third. So when you're playing a major scale from third to third, you're essentially creating a Phrygian scale. You don't need to know that, okay? You can take a sip, a celebratory sip, because there will not be a quiz on this. So I'm more likely to think, like for example, I'm probably going to think G or E minor until I get to the D chord. Then I want to accommodate that D chord. So that's one of the things we can talk about. It's playing through changes. We started talking about soloing, and the problem with when I was doing my lessons on soloing, and I would still be doing them if I didn't get the copyright strikes. And they're not strikes officially yet. So, because I contested both of them. They were ridiculous. I accidentally played a melody of something on one of them without, I'm just showing you how to solo, and I played some melody. I'm not intentionally going for any melodies. But the other one was I was just playing literally the root of each chord. E, C, G, D. I was playing the root of each chord to show you, okay, find the root first. Start there. You're going to play over chords. So I would be still talking about soloing if I didn't have those copyright infraction warnings or whatever. But one of the things you can do when you're going to play, and I generally, when I solo, I don't limit myself to one area. However, when I practice or learn a new scale, I definitely will do that. If I'm trying to integrate a new scale into my playing, I will learn a position very well and then go to the next position down and try to learn that one really well, okay? But one of the things you can do is you can see the chord progression, which I can write in here because, let's see, let me edit. It was E minor, C, G, and D, right? So if you can find an E minor chord, there's an E minor chord within at the 7th fret. Okay, within our parameters here, using all. In fact, you can see every one of these notes in that top scale up there. Okay, the C chord, you play right here. All right, that is everywhere there, and then here's our C shape. Every note, obviously, for this shape is in there, but every note for this C shape is up there too. Okay. You could almost think of the scale as being a combination of all the notes of the E minor, the C major, the G, and the D. And the D shape, not necessarily one you have to be able to play, okay? Or the G chord, sorry. It's a G shape, okay? But it's a D chord. D is in dog, okay? So that would be something that you might want to be aware of when you're playing, and you can do that by just jamming them. Because a lot of times when I'm soloing, I was thinking about Eddie Van Halen this week again. A lot of times I'm just seeing chord shape. Part of the E minor. Also part of the C. There's the G chord, little G chord. So a lot of times when I'm soloing, I am visualizing the chords underneath of what chords I'm playing over. I'm visualizing those chords on my neck, on my fretboard, and then I'm building a solo around that. That's a very, very common thing to do. If the chords are going to move by super quick, if it's some kind of gospel thing, then probably no. I'm just going to go gravitate to a blues scale. Why are you not? Oh, is it set to something weird? Okay. Set to ukulele. I don't want ukulele. I want dramatic. There it is. Okay. So I'm aware of, I'm aware that I'm playing over an E minor chord. I'm also aware that between an E minor and C, there's two common tones, the E and the G. So knowing theory and chord harmony, chord theory definitely comes in handy when you're soloing. They come up with interesting solos. But I could purely do some pentatonic stuff, and it would probably work fine. But I'm still going to want to accommodate that G chord or that D chord. You're going to still want to make some nod to that chord that doesn't exactly fit in the pentatonic. So let's see here. All right, so back to that. Okay. So, but what you could do is you can practice this scale. You just kind of move it up and down. Try to get it under your fingers. And again, the weird little moment is that third string where you only have two notes. On all these other strings, you have three notes. So your right hand's like happy, and then you get to that second string or third string, and your right hand gets all twisted and turned around. Okay, and then that's part of the. I think it's part of the reason why a lot of players will use a pure alternating picking pattern. Okay, where they just keep going down and up no matter what. A lot of bluegrass players do that. gypsy jazz players, some of the fastest players use a pure alternating kind of thing, because what it does is it just kind of tells your right hand that you're going to be doing the same thing over and over again. So, but then you have the issue of how many times you're going to do it on each string. Now, I was working on a game last week, and it was very, very fast. This one thing, it was like 2 games in a row that had heavy metal or death metal or speed metal. I would say speed metal type stuff. And I actually used this guitar, and I used the baritone because I needed to get down to some low stuff. I didn't use the Les Paul, but I used my SG, and I just bought some Elixir 11s. I'm going to put on my SG so that I can do D standard, which is just moving everything down a whole step if I need to. Or I prefer drop D. I'm fine with drop D instead of D standard. The reason is that way I can still read on the top 5 strings without any problem. If I drop to D standard, okay, what I will do oftentimes is I will take the chord chart, the MIDI, and knock it down a whole step. And let's see, is that right? Or knock it up a whole step. And then reprint it so that I'm reading in, like, I think I'm faking myself out, essentially. Yeah, B-Kitty, it's awesome today. The weather's great. I know, I love it. I went for a walk, and I got to Starbucks, and I was going, dang it, I should have brought a jacket. I'm kind of cold, which is lovely. It's going to get even colder. We're supposed to get rain on Sunday. I love turning off my sprinklers. So, but what the thing was is it was like this. Right? It was that kind of thing. And the problem with it was that it was faster than that. It was like, and I found the weird thing is that, so those were 16th notes. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 E into 2 E into 3 E into 4 E into. There were 16th notes. And then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8. So it did that twice. So that was 16 more 16th notes, right? And I'm actually using the scale right here that we're working on just for the sake of the story. Well, what I did, and it was even faster than that. It was 180, I think, BPM. And so I could not play that lick starting with a downstroke. I could not do it. So in slow motion, it would be down, up. So I'm going down. So I'm plucking, basically when I'm changing strings, I'm going from the 5th string to the 4th string. I'm going down on the 5th and up on the 4th, which means I'm playing on the outside of the strings. So I'm having to travel more than the width of the strings to change strings. Both going up to the D string and coming from the D string. So I'm going down, up, down, up, down, up. Again, I'm going up here on the 4th string and I'm going down on the 5th string. I couldn't play it fast using that pattern. Okay, that's using that picking pattern, starting with a downstroke, which makes sense because you want to start on the downbeat with a downstroke. And that's what I was doing on the down, up, down, up, down, up, like that. So what I realized when I was just playing it and just playing that lick and trying to get it up to speed, not the solid 16th notes, but the moving phrase. If I started with an upstroke, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Then my pick was almost spent most of its time in between the 2 strings, and I was able to play it fast. So sometimes you have to change your picking. And so what I ended up doing, I totally ended up cheating. I went for the entire phrase, and then I punched in. And it took a while to get that. It took a while to get perfect time so that when I punched, I could edit it so it worked. You can't tell that I'm picking down, up for one bar and up, down for the other bars. So John's asking me a question. Let's see. What are your thoughts on economy picking when transitioning from one string to the other? That's exactly what I'm talking about. So I think I just answered your question. But I don't really, I mean, I do more economy picking on the ascend when I'm descending the strings than ascending. For example, when I'm doing threepers, I do more when I do pure alternating when I ascend, but when I descend, I do up, down, up, like that. So that would be economy picking. So it just depends. If I'm going this way, I use standard alternating picking. If I'm going this way, I use I may use economy picking. And economy picking is often will often be. There's a lot of ways you could do it. The idea is what's the most efficient way to play fast. And I was just exactly talking about that. To do that, I had to pick start with an upstroke instead of a downstroke. But when I'm playing bluegrass, I don't use economy picking. I don't know. I just avoid it. Somehow my brain won't do it. But usually when I'm doing bluegrass, I'm playing a lot of open strings. And so I don't know. Sounds funny on heavy metal. But I try to stick with more the pure alternating picking. So for sweeping, I don't really do sweeping. So see. Yeah, I don't know. And sweeping a lot of times is a lot of times you have hammer-ons. So it's very exciting. Yeah, I mean, I just don't use sweeping skills very often. We've talked about this before. Playing a triad on guitar is hard because we're tuned to fourths, and not even that. We're tuned to fourths with a third, so it's like if we were tuned to fifths, you wouldn't have a problem doing triads. You wouldn't need to do sweep picking. And the reason we do sweep picking is to do major minor triads. I don't really do sweeps or minors. There's only two notes you can actually get with a bar. I don't know why I'm talking about sweep picking. It's not my thing. But on mandolin, if you want to play a major triad, you do this. It's like now that's not a major triad, but if I was tuned to fifths, that would be a major triad. So you play a triad like a pentatonic scale, like a pentatonic lick on mandolin or violin. So you're just doing that, and you get a triad, and you're like, dang it, because it's like it's really hard. Now you could do it. Here's how it would look on guitar if you wanted to try to get that. You skip a string. That technically is what a mandolin player's doing, but it's a little bit easier than that on mandolin because it's not. You don't have to jump down two frets. Oops. I have had to do that on a guitar though. Just go like this. But I can't do it without a capo. Anyway. So let's look at little snippets of this, okay? Inside this, again, if we start on the 5th string, 10th fret with the pinky, that's the G note. There's the G note right there. Okay, you should start to know your strings better. I need to create some kind of random generating website machine thing where you guys can like practice finding your notes on your neck. I think there's actually random generators where you can enter in the online where you just enter in the parameters, what you want randomized, whether it be a bunch of numbers or words or and you could just do all 17 notes, you know, A sharp, B flat, B, C sharp, D flat, so on and so forth. And you could use that as a way to kind of test your skills on memorizing your fretboard. I just use little pieces of paper. You could do note cards, same kind of effect. So there's G. If we go there and then the 7th fret, 9th fret, 10th fret, and then 7th fret, 9th fret, and then 7th fret and 8th fret, we have a G major scale. One more time. Okay, and that G note is in the E minor chord. It's in the C chord. It's obviously in the G chord, but it's not in the D chord. So there's an F sharp right below it, which is the 3rd of the D chord. Okay, let's try this little snippet right here. The third string, 7th fret, to the 5th. I'm sorry, gosh. To the 9th, 7, and then 8, and then back down 7. Just do that little snippet. Sorry, I go slow. And you can use a pure picking down, up, down, up. Okay, if we start with up, now down, up is better because down, up, but that'll work over, that lick will technically work over all 3 chords, or all 4 chords. I mean, everything you need for that progression is right there in those 4 notes. So that's D, E, F sharp, G. Or G, F sharp, E, D. So you got the 5, 6, 7, 8, or 5, 6, 7 root in the key of G. So you know, Beethoven, Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, dun, dun, you know, what was it? I don't want to play it because I'll get in trouble. Shoot, I think it's just the It's just basically the first 4 notes of a scale, major scale, 5 notes of major scale, and then the 5th below. Oh gosh, I can't even remember how it goes right now. My brain's just shut off. But you don't need a whole lot of notes to create music. And so, hey, Michael, Michael Neal's in the house. Good to see you. Michael and Whitson's in the house. Sorry, I missed that before. Hey, Gary, you're here too. Yeah, and the only reason I'm talking about little snippets of this because this is where, if you want to play faster, and speed doesn't make for a better solo. All right, I'm hoping my lid doesn't come off. It came off on my walk home, and it was like second day in a row. So speed doesn't make a better solo, but speed is a tool, and if you can't do it, you don't have that tool. So one of the ways to get fast is to not try to do too big of chunks. Don't try to do like some 3 per scale or some weird thing. Just little. Find out for you what's the most economic way to pick this, and get your fingers used to it. Your picking's not even involved in this one. The other snippet you could do, a little section of it, you could do the top 2 strings. So we're at the 7th fret, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10. The nice thing about that is it's very symmetrical. And you can also do little spurts. Instead of doing like this, where I went forever, I was doing this forever, you can just go like Addams Family, right? Da-da-da-dun, da-da-da-dun, right? And then the other thing you could do is you could take a section like this and get your metronome out and go, okay, that's 100 beats per minute or whatever it is. And I'm doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. You can write your lick down in the book, put a tempo there and a date. And then up the tempo. Say go to 105 or 102 or 104 or whatever. Go up a tempo and now try to play it at that tempo. And then maybe play the lick or phrase or whatever you're working on at that tempo for a week, and then move it up another tempo. Let's say with running, you add a half a mile every 2 weeks or something. I don't know. I can't do it. I started running again last spring or last fall? I think last fall. I got some good running shoes, and it felt good. It felt good to get out there running, but man, my body doesn't like it. So, be kidding. Oh, hey, yeah, how many people are watching? Yeah, last time it was a slow burn. It's kind of doing the same thing. Right now it says 15. It says 24 up here and 15 there. I don't know what it doesn't. Monetization is on. It was weird. They brought back the old editing window. I had all these options. I could change things before I launched, which for the longest time when I launched originally it was like that. And then for like the last 50 videos, I haven't been able to edit until I'm actually edit the title. I couldn't make it monetized. I couldn't do any of that stuff until I actually launched the stupid stream. It's like, wait, what? Why did they change that? That makes no sense. I want to edit everything before I start the stream. So, yeah, 24. Okay. So, let's play this little G scale in here. Start on the pinky on the 10th fret of the 5th string. Go to the next string, the 7th fret. Then that's the A. And then B is at the 9th fret. C is at the 10th fret. D is at the 7th fret of the G string. Then 9th fret, and then 7th fret, and then G. And then backwards, 8th fret, 7, and then 9, 7, 10, 9, 7, 10. We do it again, I'm going to say the letter names. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, backwards, G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A, G. And if you want to make it a little bluesy, you could add that B flat in there. Okay? And here it would be which that blues note works fine over the E minor, over the C, over the G, not really over the D. Okay, let me play that progression so you can hear. Oops, went to the key of D major. All right. So that, so yeah, you can always, you know, blues, so many contexts, blues sounds great. And so that would be, if we were to add a note, technically it would be a B flat. So that's, but you saw how I was using it. I was using it as almost more of a grace note. I wasn't sitting on it, you know. If I was playing a G blues, I might sit on it. But with that kind of almost poppy progression, if it were a faster tempo, it would be pop. But with that kind of pseudo poppy progression, very simple diatonic progression, that blues note is better as kind of a grace note. A little hint that you're like, okay, you know, we can get down and dirty right here for just a second, but not too long. So, and the pentatonic shape that's in here, remember, is the pentatonic number 4. So it would be, it's all in there. It's all in that top upper right hand corner scale. 7 on the bottom string, 7, 10, 7, 10, 7, 9, 7, 9, 8, 10, 7, 10. And there's the G chord. Play the E minor with me here. Okay, bar chord 7th, and then bar chord at the 10th, 8th fret, which is the G major, C major. Gosh, not awake. And then the G chord, which is the C shape. Looks like a C chord, but it's a G chord. C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G. And then the D chord, which looks like a G shape. And you can play this one too, but it's out of position. The whole point of playing this one, and you don't have to be able to play this, but the whole point of at least seeing and visualizing it is that you're aware of all these D, notes that are in the chord of D major. All right, any questions? The gardeners are here. Let's see. Now somebody chat something, because it's been a while since you've chatted. I'm wondering. Everything seems to be working live. I do like this. Okay, you're still there. Good. I do like this little bit here too. That's the E minor shape. So remember we just did the G shape. If you were to ask me to play G scale, this is probably the last way I would play it. Because check it out. I got one note, then I got three notes, and I got two notes, and I got two notes. Picking right hand wise, it makes very little sense. Okay, so it is right there in the meat of this scale. But this E minor shape, I use it all the time. So here, let's do that one. 7th fret, 9th fret, 10th fret. This is on the 5th string. 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 10. And see, that's part of the reason I like it, because it has that symmetry of the same thing, the same note combination, 2 strings in a row, which makes it really fun to play. And then the last bit is just 7, 9. So you have 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 10, 7, 9. So this is E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E. If you want to go all gothic on me, remember we did the blues note? If you want to, you can take that D to D sharp and create a harmonic minor. This would be E harmonic minor. Now you sound like Yngwie Malmsteen. Okay, so that's a little. Yeah, the gardeners are here. Are you scared, kitty cat? No. Come here. Get it. She's. What a good girl. It's okay. Come here. She's all afraid of the gardeners. Yeah, fret markers 21st. What's the scale length on this guitar? I don't know. Let's see. Probably the same as a Strat. I mean, here's a Squire that I have jacked up. Yep, basically the same as a Strat. So what is that, 25? Yeah. Does it look like it's longer than it is or something? But yeah, this is 21st fret right there, where that marker is. So I got 22 frets. See the kitty? Kitty! Kitty, kitty, kitty! Come here. Yeah. She was outside earlier, and I told her, you don't want to be outside on Wednesdays. She's like, I don't understand. I said, Wednesdays when the gardeners are here. And she looks at me like, I still don't understand you. Milk? Oh, okay, I'll come and get milk. That she understood. Cat sip. Exactly. It's funny. You would have guessed 25. Well, here's a. I've told you this before, but let's see. I don't know. So that's basically C sharp. Here's a C sharp. I always learn the notes. Well, on my main Strat, that's C sharp. I use that every now and then. So that's G sharp. So if I want a really high G sharp, I got it. So it's an octave above that, right? Yeah. Kind of F. I wouldn't go for that one though, because I have to push down so far, and I'm fighting the fretboard that I might break the string doing that. But that one. Another useful information. But I actually do use that kind of stuff. Let's see, I'll show you a contact. Not a contact. Well, well, for this progression, not so much. So tomorrow, I mean Friday, we'll do the D Mixolydian scale. Okay, so we probably talked about Mixolydian scales a lot when we were doing the blues stuff, because Mixolydian scales are really good over blues progressions. And here's one thing that I really highly recommend doing. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it after this. We'll kind of continue on the diatonic rampage. But for example, when you're playing in G blues, okay, you got a G7 and a C7 and a D7, okay? And notice what I'm doing here. I'm playing all three chords in one position. I could go, right? Or I could go. But what I want to do is I want to see this G7, this C7, and this D7. And then I want to see the Mixolydian scales right there. So what you want to do is be able to play G Mixolydian, which we're going to learn on Friday, C Mixolydian, and then D Mixolydian, all in the same position. That way you'll start to see little nuances and little subtle variations between the scales, because there's only one note difference between G Mixolydian and C Mixolydian. And there's only one note difference between G Mixolydian and D Mixolydian. There's two note difference between C Mixolydian and D Mixolydian. But you do play at some point. You do play D to C in a blues progression, in a G blues progression. So you know. But it's really cool when you start to, when some of those subtle variations. Well, here's the kitty again. She's never in here. Oh, you're going to hide in the corner. Okay. When you start to see some of those little subtle variations that really make up, it's the differences between the chords and the scales that really are the one those moments and those points that you really want to highlight, and that really make you feel like and make it sound like you know what you're doing. So that's all I ever aspire to, is to make you think I know what I'm doing. See, that's pretty much every job I've ever had, any job we've ever had. You do it so that everybody thinks you're doing your job, right? Dang. Dennis, is that a store in Holland that's gone bankrupt? I remember when I was a kid, there was a store that went bankrupt, and I got a couple things from it that were, like a MXR pedal or something like that. I don't think I got guitars. I didn't have that kind of money. MXR were like kind of like some of the original pedals. I'm trying to think what was your first pedal? That was a good question. I think let's see. One of my first was the 70s. I didn't get my first electric guitar until what was it? and trust me, there's some stuff that I wished I still had. Well, that's true of everybody. I don't sell anything anymore. Here's what this is my first pedal. What was this? Oh yeah, well that makes sense. K Wawa. Yeah, this is definitely, let me see if I can find a better picture. That's just a little snippet of K. Because my second guitar was a K12 string. Look at this. Oh my gosh. This thing is worn out. Let's see if I can find it on Reverb. Reverb is a great resource because it's like some stores put their entire inventory up on Reverb, which is nice. Okay. Whoops. I found one on eBay. Yep, here's one on. Oh, here's just a housing. Here's one K original wah. So this was my first pedal. Hey Cisco, good to see you. Let's see. My first only pedal is a Pod HT 300. All in one, Cabs. Yeah, true. It's true. You would buy a drop pedal. What's a drop pedal? I know what a looper is. Kimbara fuzz pedal. Whitsend is. That sounds like an Australian pedal. Oh, Cisco, I still have my first electric guitar. It was an Ibanez 175 copy. 1973, it was a lawsuit model. So I still have that. In my old videos, you can see it hanging behind me, but I have it packed away in my closet. But it's not a bad. So Kimbara fuzz pedal. Let me look that up. If you put it there, I can maybe Kimbara fuzz. No listings. Wow. Oh wait, no. Oh wait, that does say Kimbara on it. Do you still have it? Because it's $470. If this is the same one here, I can put links in here. You guys can't put links. Oh, you used to work for Fender. Oh, nice. Did you in California or in Arizona? I actually had a meeting with Fender. I was supposed to do some videos for them. Yeah, it's kind of scary, isn't it, Kitty? I don't know if you can hear the garden. But then another pedal, I had a Fox Wah that I wish I still had. These things. Yeah, it was not the red one. It wasn't the blue one. I think it was a black one. Down machine. Wah machine. 65, 75. Yeah, this probably is very close to what I had going for $300. It was, you know, oh gosh, that's too many characters. What the heck? Why so many characters here, man? Let's find one that's bass wah. Wah and volume. I mean, it's cool to have a volume wah kind of thing. Copy. All right, so let's delete, paste. Oh, and Corona. Okay, cool. Oh, let me post a. You know what? I'll post a Discord link So we have a Discord group that continues discussing things. Bruce is building me a cigar box guitar, so you can see pictures of that up there. I'm gonna pose a question here in our discussion. First, guitar pedal. And I'll post mine. Here's mine. Copy. Oh. Of course, these links on Reverb won't last forever because if somebody buys it, then it's gone. Then I got a my first distortion box. Let's see, iced coffee. I thought my first pedal was junky because it was old, made in Japan. Had a siren that was only good for the suite. Oh, it turns out it's high. Yeah. Oh, that's another one. I had an electro harmonics pedal. Electro harmonics. See, harmonics. They've been around for a long time. It was called a hair lip. I kid you not. Oh, no. Let's see. It wasn't hair. No. Oh, harmonics. No. Okay, let me just look up hair lip. It'll be there. I'll find it. I think it was HARELIP. No. One word? Oh, stop. Stop autocorrecting. No. Maybe it is. No? Okay. Now I gotta go to Google. Hair, lip, pedal. Yeah, there it is. It's so funny that effects database. Wow, I am not seeing it on eBay. Let's see if it's on eBay. Yeah, here it is here. Copy. So the crazy thing about the hair lip, oh, not you're kidding! You just picked up your first guitar this year, even after working at Fender. Totally understand them. So I don't pull out an electric very often. What does it mean when I turn the pot and move a switch and hear static? Probably just means it's dirty. So you might need to get some contact cleaner. I wouldn't use, you don't use like WD-40 or something like that. I would use, I forget, what's the stuff that I use? Hold on. Electronic contact cleaner. Yeah, this is what I use. Tank. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that, boy, this looks exactly like what I use. I don't recognize the Tide name, but it may have, they may have yeah. So, oh, hey Ignatius. Yeah, I mean, the chord he's playing on that is, hold on, I'm changing guitars, so everybody take a sip. I'm trying to remember now. It was basically E minor ninth. to like A7. But the jam section, I'm talking about the intro. Ignatius asked me about a song last week, and I looked it up. And it's a guy jamming on, I'm assuming it was an Indian or a Pakistani television show. Oh, I don't want to listen. Oh, I do. This not helping me. There we go. I want chromatic. I don't even want the other options. So it looked like to me he was basically playing like the basically that. So I would say E minor, and that's as much as I'm going to show you because the rest of it was like him jamming or something, and that's just I don't want to spend 4 days tabbing it out unless you want to pay me a lot of money, then maybe I might. But it was something like he was doing something like this. Back at kind of different voicings, but one way to voice this is this way, E minor ninth, or he also did it, it seemed like this way, 7, wait, no, 5, 4, 0, 3, 0, and then he went to like an A7 chord, and he basically played it like that. So those are the two chords that he kind of goes back and forth when they're singing and stuff at the top. Basically something like that. Yeah. Hey, I will get credit for the whole basket, Gary. Thank you. Yeah, contact cleaner is great for anything electronic because what it does, the great thing about contact cleaner, it does not leave a residue behind. It may be because it's alcohol based, and so it just evaporates. And boy, my guitar is filthy. It's just gross. Oh, I gotta get. Speaking of cleaner, I gotta get guitar cleaner out and clean guitars. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, the hair lip was funny pedal. Let's see. So the idea behind the hair lip, the EH man. Okay. So I guess see what it says here. Oh, it doesn't exist anymore. That's the problem with the internet. Oh, here's one. No, that's not it. It's crazy. So it has an off switch, which is weird. Input and amplifier, but it also has a pedal on it. A button on it, but it also has an off. It has a volume, a speed, and an echo. And it's not an echo pedal. So I'm not sure how, because I remember it was essentially a tremolo pedal. In fact, I'm sure somebody's done a YouTube video on it. In fact, I'm pretty sure I watched it. I'm pretty sure I watched a video on it, and it was the guy who was kind of like, what the heck is this thing? And they're not cheap. I think I sold it for $10 or something, and I think they're going for like $300, or if you can find one, eBay. We're watching an episode of CSI. Here we go. Electro, Harmonics. Don't correct my spelling. Hair lip. Nope. No matches found. It's a pretty stinking rare pedal, and that's part of the reason why. I think mainly the only people buying it, the only people buying that pedal are people that just want to have every pedal that Electro Harmonics made. There's no reason to buy that pedal. Let's see. Pakistani. Oh, okay. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, okay. So anybody else put out their first pedals? So, who was it? Wits End. Oh, that Wits End, was that you? A rack CP3 compressor in 1984. Still have it. Reboxed and upgraded caps. It's a copy of a Boss, maybe. Super cool and tape sounding. Great for slide and everything else. Interesting. Rack CP3 compressor. I'm having a hard time copying just that. All right, so let's go to, yeah, oh, here, okay. Hair lip. If only Electro-Harmonics had made a wood-eyed pedal. Remember I had a teacher that called me Deadeye? And he did it for like 6 months. I think it was Dave, what was Dave's last name? Lordson or something? In fact, I think he's the teacher that quit at the store, and I took his place when I was 18, or 17. But he called me Deadeye. I'd take guitar lessons, and after about 6 months, I said, "Hey," I'd come in the room, and he'd go, "Hey, Deadeye," and I'd be like, "How'd you know I was blind in one eye?" And he said, "You're blind in one eye?" And he stopped calling me Deadeye. So let's see. Here's this little article on the hair lip. If only Electro-Harmonics had made a wood-eye pedal, we'd be able to complete that old joke. But since they didn't, this month we'll take a closer look at one part they did make, a hair lip microphone echo, one of Electro-Harmonics' more unusual pedals. Before anybody gets offended, let me state up front that Mike Matthews didn't use the name hair lip as a derogatory term. He originally intended the name as a taboo breaker, but soon it became another interesting name to add to the long list of as well as an excuse for me to look offended when I've asked to have one. Let's see, a hair lip model EH3004 dates all the way back to early 70s. In fact, the earliest mention I can find of them is old EH price list that expired in January 20th, 1973. That's about when I would have, well, maybe a little after that. Gives the singer an echo effect electronically at 1/10 the cost of mechanical tape echoes. The hair lip echo, it looks like it's basically an electronic Harmonics pedal. Was housed in a very cool first edition big muff pie style box with hip triangle knob configuration. The controls are clockwise left, blah, blah, blah. No XLR connected here. This is a real man's echo unit. Yeah, you plug it in the echo, the volume. Clean signal is set with volume control, speed and echo knobs. Let's see. Although the echo was designed for voice, it could be used for guitar as well. This month's guitars. Oh, they actually demoed it. No. Oh, originally priced at $39.95. Or you could build it yourself from a kit. You know what? That's right. Electro-Harmonics was originally kind of like a kit company, wasn't it? I totally forgot that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, the hair lip. Let's see. I have a Crybaby, but it's busted. And that was actually, I had a modded Crybaby that Dave Friedman modded for me. And it's not working. I don't know what happened to it. But Dave Friedman is a kind of an amp pedal board guru here in Los Angeles. And I went to him for a few things, got a few things modded by him. Richard Lawson, what's going on, man? We're just talking about first pedals we ever had, electric guitar pedals. And the hair lip was really early for me. The first one was for sure the K plastic wah pedal. This was probably the second or third pedal. Let's see, where's second or third pedal was this one. But yeah, it's crazy. You know, some of this stuff is worth now. Mainly just because it's old. Sometimes not because it's good. The hair lip pedal was, my recollection was, it was a tremolo. It wasn't an echo pedal. I don't remember hearing. I never could get an echo out of it, but I don't know. Two Crybabies. No, yeah, the Fox pedal, I think I put that up here too, right? Yeah, so the Fox pedal was also one that I had. And then probably my first distortion was, I was going to look up that compressor that you mentioned. The Rack CP3 compressor. Okay. Let me look that up and see if you can find. I can find that on Reverb. Yeah, that Fox pedal was a pretty hardy pedal. It was a metal housing. It was very different. Nope. I don't even see anything by Rack at all. Here we go. Panasonic. No. Oh, I have that. How much are they selling it for? Oh, no. Let's see. I don't see any pedals by the name RAK. That's so weird. For a while there, I was like on a rampage, you know, back when the internet was fairly new. I remember, you know, there'd be some shops. I haven't done this in a while, but I used to go to American Musical Supply, which was kind of, I think they got bought up by Guitar Center or Musician's Friend, if I'm not mistaken. But you could get, basically, in fact, you could do this now, go to Musician's Friend and go to pedals and then sort by lowest. And they would blow out pedals. They would blow out pedals pretty darn cheap. I think I got this pedal, this Head Rush, because they were discontinuing it and then making it again. I think I got it for $40. Look at all the outputs on this thing. You can literally have 4 outputs. You can have it's supposed to simulate 4 different tape heads. And then I got this too for I think $20. New from the website because they were blowing them out because they were discontinued. Nobody wanted them. So yeah, and you know these things too. I'm not a fan of the plastic housing on these. But like I think I got this for $29. They were blowing it out. And then this is I've got a bunch of these because the Ultra Shifter Harmonizer. This is a Behringer pedal. Basically it's $50. It's a great pedal for $50 for a harmonizer and does like whammy bends. Can act like a whammy pedal. I've used it for pop songs, and you can get that high octave thing. It actually has a smart harmonizer in there. You can set the key. It's insane. You got all these key choices. It's insane for $50. They discontinue it every now and then. You'll see them on sale for $600. So I guarantee you these are going to show up on some famous guitar player's pedal board. What else? So I don't have my first distortion pedal, but I did get one eventually. This old lady had a bunch of stuff and she just gave it to me, and this was in the stuff. 2 of these were in there. I gave one to Alex, and so this is pretty much my first distortion pedal. It doesn't even have a battery adapter. You know, that was one of the drags about MXR. You had to take the back off and put a new battery in there. And if you left the cable plugged in, it would kill it. This is a modded distortion pedal that I got a few years ago. You can see the switches on there. Basically, they circuit bended the crud out of a DS1. JHS did. Somebody gave me this pedal. A guy has a company, and he gave it to me. I haven't really used it for anything. Vogel guitars. Bob Vogel. What else? I did a series on. This was one. This was one that was a really cheap pedal. I don't know if it's still cheap. The Ultimate Drive. Actually, not a bad pedal. I think it was $30 or $40 when I bought it new online. Yeah, Ultimate Drive by is it Joyo. They're at the NAMM show every year, and they're Chinese company. Not a bad pedal though, for high gain stuff. This one is the one I take with me to, the Plexitone. This one's a nice pedal. It's a pretty expensive pedal. This one I bought. See, I bought a lot of pedals. This one I bought because a lot of my favorite guitar players used it. And I've never been able to get a good sound out of it because I'm a Strat guy for the most part, and I think this is really voiced more for humbuckers. So I've never really enjoyed the sound out of that thing. But I did a series where I bought a bunch of pedals from my neighbor, and I just was like, he gave me a bunch of pedals and said, whatever you want, if you want any one you want, I'll give you a great price on it. And he totally did, like $20 for this or something. And so I plugged it in live on the videos, and then I should do some more of those. I should go up to his house. He probably has a bunch more. But so then I would literally turn it on and go, okay, let's see what this pedal does, right? And I just mess with it live. That was pretty fun. This is actually a really good kind of this is an old one, a good volume pedal. This is definitely hard to find these, but this is an analog delay. And DM2, and it's analog, so you can get that sound. So these are hard to find, kind of expensive. This is actually one of my first pedals. I got this, and actually this is not the one I had. I think I sold mine. This was one of the ones that lady gave me. Believe it or not, this old lady gave me a bunch of pedals. God bless her. And this was one of them. And so, yeah, every now and then somebody's getting rid of a bunch of things, and I'll pick them up. I'm not a big pedal guy. I don't even have a pedal board. What I do is if I go to a session and I take pedals, here's an old Electric Mistress. So this is kind of old school Electro Harmonics. But this does that kind of laser gun sound that like Billy Idol's guitar player would get. It's an Adrenaline. I should have gotten the Adrenaline one. I got the original Adrenaline. I got this one. The original one is the one that has that sound that. This is a great fuzz pedal, experience pedal. That's a great pedal. So yeah, just lots of pedals. I got more. I'm just not gonna pull them all out. Anyway, pedals are fun, but they're addicting to buy. Like I said, if I go right now to Musician's Friend, and click over shop by category, guitars, blah, 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 amplifiers and effects. Oh, we can go, let's see, shop category, amplifiers and effects, guitar pedals, boutique pedals. No, just guitar pedals. Sort by low to high and see if there's anything that used first act pedal for $10, good condition. Who knows? First act is pretty cruddy stuff. Here's a Fab flange pedal for $10, fair condition. That's the Dan Electro. Use Behringer bass limiter enhancer for $10. So they actually have these are all used here. I suppose you could get rid of the used stuff. A lot of Fab pedals, which I never thought those sounded very good. So Donner, Behringer 7-band EQ for $18. So you can get a lot of pedals. These are, like I said, these are all used. I think you could get rid of used as an option. But yeah, 5,200 items. And the good thing about it, I think, is if you buy a used pedal from Guitar Center and you get it, it's pretty lame. If it's not working or something, you've probably got a Guitar Center close by. I had one of these AB boxes. It's funny for switching between guitars. There's a DS1 in fair condition, missing a knob for $20. Which a DS1's a good pedal. I don't have just a plain old DS1. Here's it's not JoJo, but here's one of those distortion pedals for $20. This one here. It's Joyo, but this one they have it for $20. And then they have another one that's I've never heard of. Great condition. What the heck? I don't know what this pedal is. But I didn't hate the Joyo pedal. People get kind of snobby with pedals. Yeah, they got a lot of the Joyo pedals for $20. That may be one of those things where it just takes one guitar player It just takes one guitar player where it's like, what was it that Alex got? He was because the guitar player for Wilco, the he didn't, not the original guitar player obviously, but he came in later. I can't think of his name. Alex adores this guy. It's why Alex has a '59 Jazz Master. This is probably one of Alex's biggest influences. And we've seen him live. We went and saw him live at the Palladium, and they were amazing. Wilco was. Nels Cline. Sorry, Nels Cline is the guitar player I'm trying to think of. And he had on his pedal, Alex was like taking pictures of his pedal board and everything. But he had, I think, on his pedal board, he had a one of those MXR white buffer preamps. It's just one knob thing, like a preamp. And so Alex got one of those. And he got it super cheap. And then he all of a sudden they started exploding and getting expensive. Same thing. Dang, he almost bought. He went to Guitar Center and they had a Klon, and it was $500. And he was like 16 at the time, and he goes, I want to get this pedal. That's a really good pedal. I said, really? $500 for a distortion box? I didn't know. Those things are going for, oh, I don't know. Let's see how much a Klon goes for. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's cool. I've never heard of that. Yeah, the Joyo stuff. I mean, I just have the one pedal. It's pretty hardy. I kind of like it. So, what was the thing I was just talking about? Sorry, I got sidetracked. Yeah, so yeah, I'm curious about these Joyo. I wonder what the list price are on these. I mean, you kind of can't beat the price. $20 for any pedal is pretty good deal. Here's a noise reducer. I don't know. Yeah. Tap tempo pedal. Here's another act tone. Oh, acoustic. Is it? What is it? What is the act tone? I wonder. It says distortion. Huh. It has no reviews. I think people just don't. Who knows? But it just takes one guitar player to get a sound, and the next thing you know, everybody wants that pedal. There we go. So let's see. All right. So let's see. So yeah, that's kind of cool. I sent it to Alex, the one pedal. I might have to pick up a couple pedals just for fun. Used Kaleen Golden Halo pedal. I mean, so at Guitar Center, there's plenty of little crappy pedals here. Vintage delay, Behringer open box. Hothead, Digitech Hothead for $25. One of the Digitech pedals that's really hot is really good is their heavy metal one. I saw that one a lot. Metal Master. Here's different. Yeah. Some of these pedals you just don't know. D-Seed. What is that? Digital delay. Tap tempo. Literally, for $25, a digital delay from Joyo. So I don't know. Maybe it comes with like some kind of spy software that steals your identity. If it's coming from China, I don't know. It's fascinating though. Pedals are very addictive because they're just cheap enough for you to go, oh, I could use that. Let's see. Yeah, iced coffee. So that's cool. I love that. The $200 for a little amp with 12. You said a Celestion, was it a 12-inch? It wouldn't have been a 12-inch Celestion. the analog delay. Well, and the wits end, those analog delay when they do the quotes. Generally, it's digital that you can do the. I think some of them actually did do that. Oh, did I see the drop pedal? I did not. Did you? Oh, I see. There it is, right there. Did you take drop pedal? Oh, is it to drop your tuning? Oh, yeah. Okay. Polyphonic drop pedal. So what this does is it full octave. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's a great idea. And they do it pretty well because they did the original whammy pedal, which I have somewhere. Where's my whammy pedal? Is it down here? I should get it. I should have it. No, here it is. I got it. Yeah. I don't have an original whammy. I also have a Clyde. Here's the. Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I wonder what. So I've got a. I've got a. Let me see, matchless preamp pedal. Wonder what those are going for. See, they don't even have it. Yeah, I don't. Let's see, sort by most expensive. Because it's going to be up there. I mean, I think it was 500 new when I got it. Yeah, I don't see any. Maybe I just get rid of this. But I have matchless preamp pedal. I don't. That I just don't see. Yeah, like I said, pedals are very addicting. Yeah, the Klon is $5,000 now. Yeah, Alex was like, "This pedal's worth more than 500," and I'm like, "Really?" I feel bad because I kind of almost talked him out of it, but I don't know if he had 500 at the time. He might have had, but would you put it on your pedal board? I mean, I don't know. That would be, $5,000 pedal. And he's still making them. That's what's so crazy. And the rumor is that all the money, like he has a baby mama or something like that. All the money he makes from each one of those pedals he gives to her. Like he doesn't even make any money on them when he sells them. But I don't know. Like, yeah, you go to Reverb and try to find a Klon. I mean, they're for sale because people buy them, they find them, and then they sell them. Yeah, the Horsey. They have Klon clones. Yeah, here's $5,000 right here. Boom. Vancouver, Washington. Well, they have two. They have a bronze one. They have two. Crazy. Anyway, it's yeah, that Kimbara fuzz pedal is worth almost $500. You can't find a hair lip. So, and the stupid K pedal I think I paid $10 for, probably sold it for $5, is now $183.27. I remember thinking that the rubber bottom on it was just going to rot. In fact, it may have already started to rot. But anyway, so again, the question I'm asking is, what is your first pedal, or do you have a favorite pedal? The drop pedal is cool though, Dennis. That's a great idea. And I kind of do that with the Behringer, and it's only $50. But I can do similar things. I can't go down chromatically though. That's the drag. It goes down diatonically or something. The POG is very common especially in worship guitar player pedal boards. Get that octave up. again, that's kind of what I use the Behringer for. I use it for that octave up sound almost 90% of the time, if I'm using it. Oh, heck yeah. I don't even use pedals in my studio, really. I mean, I have a compressor pedal that I put my guitar in, and I have a wah pedal, because you can't really do wah in the box. But yes, I can replace every one of these pedals with a computer. The only thing is, I don't really want to take a laptop to a gig. Maybe if I had a laptop designated specifically for that, but it just seems like an accident waiting to happen. You know, to have a table with your laptop sitting on it, with your guitar plugged into it, and going into it, something, you know, into the house. So for live, pedals still come in handy. And I do have a little pedal board that I have a compressor on, 2 gain pedals, more like clean gain pedals, and then the Behringer's on there for the octave stuff. So that's all I have on that pedal board. It's just a mini pedal board that Alex built me, and I use that to go before my Lexicon rig, which has all the pedals, all the effects I pretty much ever need. Oh, Behringer, your last name. Well, there you go. You own that company. See, so I just send a check directly to you then. Streamers on Twitch, I watch use them for Rocksmith 2014. A lot of saves, tuning. Oh yeah. I'm playing. Yeah. You're talking about the drop pedal. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, and then Gibson came out with the Les Paul that would do multiple tunings. You know, you could program and hit drop open D and open G and Dad and drop D and drop standard and all these, and the tuners would go. It would automatically, you just hit all the strings and it would automatically tune. It's like, no, how lazy do you have to be? And I played one. And the headstock was really heavy because it had these, 6 motorized tuners plus a computer. And I'm like, it's not gonna. I just don't see any real practical use for that. I get it that it's like a kitschy thing, and the price tag was cheaper. You know, it would have been cheaper to hire a guy just to show up at your gig to tune your guitars and hand them to you. And that looks cooler anyway. Definitely looks cooler than you pushing a button during the gig and going, oh, hitting all your strings. Okay, now I'm in open D, so I can do my slide stuff. Okay, now open G. Bloop, much cooler to have a guy, like a guy with really long hair, hand you a guitar. You like, and he takes your guitar away, treats it like it's some relic, That's really what I would prefer than to have a guitar that tunes itself. So, yes, air guitar. Pretty much how I dance at nightclubs. Still, just too insecure. Let's see. So, what do we have? Let's see. So, I will do the next scale, the next position up. We're going to be at the 9th fret. And we will have a position shift. And what you can do is you can practice. If you want, you can go up and down these scales like this. You can practice your G scale, the A Dorian scale, the B Phrygian or C Lydian scale. You can practice those, and I think those will really help you get those shapes and scales up under your fingers, and then practice finding them in different keys, okay? The reason we're calling them all these modes is because the bottom note of the scale, okay? That's really, this was G, this was A, this is B, this is C. We're going to have D next, okay? It's just another way to name a scale. All of these are G scales, G major scales. But if you want to think of it as an A Dorian, you can totally think of it. remember the trick where you play. You just play 2 notes of the 3 and you get these weird, like, Middle Eastern sounding scales. Okay. Yeah, now I get up to 31 and I'm signing off. It's been in the 20s the whole time. What is the deal? Why? Do I need to go back to 11 o'clock? No, I need to get stuff done. So, so anyway, I hope you all are doing well. I'm going to sign out, but I will. A kitty sip suggestion. Yeah, if anybody in the family appears, you could do that. Sure. Exactly. You could do that, Gary. That would be great. We're going to do an addendum. I don't know how many times I touch my face, but I'm touching my nose right now so we can all take a sip. I changed guitars twice, so there's a sip. Have I ever run out of batteries during a gig? Have I ever run out? Well, probably. I mean, I don't remember any specific time. And I'm happy to take some questions for a little bit. So Jim just said bye. Now I'm taking a question. Hero asked if I ever run out of a battery. The funny thing is at church, they have a million batteries. So they have boxes of batteries in the back. All of my pedals now are hooked to a power supply. Pretty much use Voodoo Lab power supplies exclusively. So if you have a power supply, you don't even need batteries. In fact, you want to take the batteries out. You do not want to leave a battery in a pedal for too long, or else it's eventually going to corrode and then leak over everything and then destroy the pedal. So that's the beauty of power supplies. Now there are some people that swear by, like particularly on gain boxes, distortion boxes sound better with batteries, or they'll even even prefer old, like almost dead batteries sound. Kind of gets that brown sound. That's hard to regulate. But I probably don't have any batteries in my car now, but I used to have a gig bag that I would keep like strings in and picks and tools like tuners and capos, all that kind of stuff. In fact, I think that was actually my first video I ever did was what's in my gig bag. So it's not my bag, baby. I would keep batteries in there too. So, but not anymore. I don't have a gig bag like that. I have strings in the car. I have strings in cases, picks, things like that. But I do not have batteries. Well, it just depends. I mean, for TV and film and games, yeah, you're not going to notice it. If I'm, yeah, I feel like I'm getting a different sound. In the digital age, the guitar sound has changed. So, yeah, I agree. Like the other day, Alex and I tracked some guitars and we used my Marshall. I actually used his Marshall in my cabinet. Oh, Gary's updating the command sips. I used my used Marshall, and yeah, definitely got that sag feeling, got that energy from it. Although I wasn't in the same room as the amp because it was just so stinking loud, so I had to go to the room next door. But generally, most of what I do is is games, TV, and movies, and in the box is fine. And then I'll put pedals on the ground. Sometimes I will use like fuzz. I don't like the sound of most digital fuzz boxes, so I have some good fuzz boxes, so I'll use those. Compressors, I prefer a floor compressor, but for live I use an amp, so I'm not using. Although I am using my Lexicon rig, but it actually is tube and everything. So I'm pushing a speaker and we're miking it. That's dope. Is that really one, Gary? I don't remember that. That was your edition. If you want to take that, well, you can leave it in there. It's fine. I guess I say that's dope every now and then. Oh, are these scales going to be up on Discord? I thought they were. Let me check. Discord is Tom's bookmarks. Yes, they. Oh, those scales. No, you're right. They're not. Okay, let me grab them. Hold on. Okay, they will be in no seconds. There they are. Okay, so yeah, you can snag those now. For those of you collecting at home, these are like collector cards for my subscribers. These are like baseball cards, right? Let's see. I think it's mostly about compression kind when people go MP3. Yeah. Yeah, and so, but even like when the song that I wrote, ETA on the new Bieber record, that was this, $99 Squire, this actual guitar, direct into the box, and I'm using Guitar Rig. And it sounds it sounds really present. Like, I mean, you would really have a hard time getting that sound from a guitar amp. Because I mean, I'm using a Fender like twin simulator. I got some spring reverb in there. There's a little bit of delay and some compression, and maybe I used some. I love Valhalla reverb, so I probably had Valhalla plate reverb on there. The thing about that was, though, I just mess around until I get a sound I like that inspires me. I throw in a groove that inspires me, and then I start writing over it. And that's pretty much my MO for writing for pop stuff. I want something that I like the sound of. So then that ended up on a record, and it's like, well, there you go, Oh, you're using a 15-watt combo amps, wet and dry. It's funny because Lukather did that for a while. He would do, he had his Rivera amp in the middle dry, and he had like amps on either side that were wet, so he had stereo left and right. So if you could do it with 3 amps, that would be really amazing. Because, and the reason is you oftentimes, and even, who was it? Larry Carlton, I think, did that with, he would have his Mesa Boogie in the middle, and then he would have like JBL speakers for his delays and reverbs and stuff. And that way you'd have that interaction between the amp and the guitar and that pure tone, and then you have some ambience that's brought in there, some maybe chorus or whatever. And but that requires a mixer. You have to have a mixer to make that all happen. So it's a whole nother game, and you have to mic the amp and then take that into those other. It's like it's the setup on that. Of course, neither Lukather or Carlton were setting up their own rigs, so I can see where that could work. But wet and dry, yes, exactly. He's putting his amp in a bucket of water. I've heard you can make it sound like underwater. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to take off. I've got to get some work done, and I will see you later. See you on Friday, God willing, and God bless you all. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you interacting with each other kindly, and we will continue this discussion on the diatonic scales. We'll learn the next one up. It'll be the what did I say? Mixolydian, and we'll do that on Friday. Okay. God bless you guys. Bye bye.